talk about the routing manager. So it is a manager which is used by UE to set the way call our launch, and also how incoming calls are presented to user. So first of all, some notes. The routing manager has been written by someone who left the team, so the current presentation is just an overview, because this person had left during the first cost reduce last year. So he leave shortly, and we did not have really much time to make a transfer. So we have done this presentation with what we know about the routing. And another thing you have to know is that the routing in the code provide two kinds of routing. You have the routing for the CV, for the conversation profile, and also the routing for the connection user profile. So you have to take care when you read the code, because some codes are specific for one profile, and some code some code is used for both profiles. So you have to take care about it. So the window in OTCPC to change the routing is this one. So all the API called by OTCPC about the routing are used there, except for the connection. Well, during the connection, we retrieve the current state of the routing, but all manual call to the routing are in this window. So the goal of the routing is to allow user to choose which phone is the main one. So you can run the softphone, the OTCPC as a softphone, a full softphone with the stack initialized inside, or you can use the OTCPC as a remote call control of the main device and other devices. So it also allow to make call from mobiles. So this is something more or less specific to CT user. You have some code specific for that. So this is this. Oh, I click. And this is this checkbox which allow to make call from professional mobiles. I do not have any professional mobile set on the alpha, that's why it is disabled on this capture. So it's also allow to change the behavior of the OT to present the call. So you can change the way the call is presented to user, or you can send directly the call to a voicemail, or you can also put do not disturb with the condition there, and also you can set the behavior of the phone when no answer is done. So this is an overview. Now we have a diagram which explains how we retrieve the current state of the routing during the login process. So you have the routing manager, connection manager, who are both inside middleware. You have outside the OT server and the UI client. So, as we already discussed, we have the login, which is done by UI client, connection manager login, login success, and after the login success, we have connect success, which is SAN, and as Eric told you yesterday, all the managers are listening for the on-connect success event, and some of them have a specific treatment for this event. So the specific treatment for the routing manager is to retrieve the current state of the routing. So we have a get routing state on this event, we call it, and then we send it depends, the technology depends of the version of the OT. For whole version of the OT 2.1, we call sub services, and since I don't remember I don't know exactly which version, but nowadays in last version we call REST API, but it is the same API, so we call the get routing state request. We make a routing state request. And we also, well, as we discussed all this week, all these requests are AJAX requests, so they are asynchronous. So here we have the get routing state, which is followed by the get routing profile. So both of requests have sent at the same time, and so here after that we have the response which arrive asynchronously. So we have the get routing state response, which is sent from the OT to the routing manager, and then we send the routing state change. This is the API. This is the event in the middleware API on the routing manager state change with routing state and request ID. And also, as we have already seen for directory manager, we have error occurred if something goes wrong. And we have also the answer for the get routing profile request. So we have the get routing profile response, and the event sent by the middleware is the on routing manager profile change with a list of profile. So you have to take care about profile because you have a lot of code around profile, and well, most of them are for CV profile, but OT server team decide last year when it was decided to connect CT connection profile to OT. It was decided by this team to get the same, well, more or less the same, not behavior but API, and the behavior behind is totally different. So you have to take care in code. You have some specific code for the conversation profile. So here a log. So the log of one event. So state change sent by the middleware. So on routing manager state change, and this is the API. So current routing state. This is the list, and we have the current profile. So it is to identify the current possible profile. So you have to take care. Well, it is what I've already done. In the next slide, we will see that there are only three predefined profile for CT profile, and when we were using the conversation profile, we were able to create some profile, and it is not anymore possible for CT. For CT, it is hard-coded in a server the behavior of each profile, which follow the behavior of the OXI behind. So current device ID, it is the number used. Well, it is the number of the device which do the outbound action, so make call and so on. After that, we have the presentation route. So the presentation route is the way the call must be presented to the user. Well, you can see the type, the device ID, and what is important is acceptable and selected. And when you have both of Boolean set it to true, then the call will ring on this device. Forward route, this is for redirect the call somewhere, so you have a voicemail or a number or someone else, and so on. You can manage the overflow, so you have several. I don't really know the overflow, so One say there are several kinds, but you have the busy or no answer. So this is for the workflow, and you have the dual ring manageable. Well, it is a boolean which is calculated by middleware. This boolean is to say to the OTC client if the dual ring is manageable. The dual ring means the ringing of the main phone set and also the mobile. So this this boolean allow to set or not this checkbox. Ring also my professional mobile, and you have the ability to manage it, and you have also the value is it set or not, which is the next value. The dual ring. The dual ring. So, and you have also the call from mobile. Well, have the name said. It is to call from mobile. Do you remember in which kind of maybe for nomadic or something?
Call from mobile?
Yeah.
No, it's just you want to use your mobile phone and you want to rather than take your mobile and dial on it. You play with you play maybe a search on OTCPC. On this result, you ask to call on but using your mobile.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we are able to communication manager. In fact, is able to pilot Dex phone, but also the mobile.
Yeah.
So in fact, Oxy will perform a call on a mobile. Sure, on mobile you have to take this call, and then call is put to your callie. He's calling.
Yes, but well, I don't know why we did not use when we designed the API the current device ID, for example, which could have been the mobile. Probably it is because when we use the call from mobile, we doesn't use the mobile number for the API for the ICS API, but we use I want to call from my mobile and maybe without
yes, you're right. Call must be done from mobile. Sure that we could change the current device ID for outbound action. Yes.
Well, in fact, the current device ID is to change outbound. To do something like remote control, in fact, of your second phone.
Your deck.
Your deck, yes.
Yes, call from mobile. Yes.
So after that we have the profile. So as I've said, we send on profile change, and there are three predefined profiles in CT in a connection profile. So they are coming. So there is business, which is the main phone set, the personal computer, which is the cell phone, and also the user is well, probably
a number you can set.
Yeah.
You can set any number, in fact, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
On using other, we build the so maybe one or two more predefined profile, but which is just existing inside middleware. But in fact, on OpenTouch point of view, it is the other.
Yeah. So, well, as I said at the beginning of the presentation, the profile in conversation was manageable by user. So you will see a few methods provided by routing manager to apply or to create, to delete, to modify, and so on. And these methods are not used anymore in connection profile. In connection profile, most of the operation to set the routing are being by using the setroute API. So here an example. We have the setroute here, the API as we already discussed. Log the API, the setroute, request ID, and now we have the presentation route. So same as before. The forward route. You will have same parameter as in event, in fact. So you have presentation, forward, current device, call from mobile, and dual ring. And as I said, the manageable dual ring is calculated by my middleware, so you don't have it in the API. So description of the nomadic mode. So setroute.
So it is a nomadic seat mode, in fact.
Yeah.
Maybe you want. Maybe I can take the lead to explain if you want.
Well, if you are okay.
Yeah. In fact, it is what the routing mode we are using together, Vincent and I, when we play a demo when Vincent was calling me, in order to don't put the sound on my DEX phone. I apply the nomadic seat mode. That means that I frozen my DEX phone, and then all call directed to my DEX phone were in fact forwarded to a dynamically seat device allocated. So it is a routing mode, seat routing mode we talked just before in Communication Manager. This nomadic seat mode means, okay, Oxy continue to think calls are directed to DEX phone, but in fact, inside OpenTouch server, the component OTS will redirect the call towards a specific SIP device located inside our OTCPC. So how it works? We ask to go in the computer mode, inside. Maybe you can show your OTCPC. So as you are here, so maybe you can just open. So we decide to say, okay, we apply this computer mode. That means that we will run through routing manager this diagram. So applying computer profile means, okay, I want to freeze my DEXphone, and I want to now use a softphone dynamically activated on OTCPC. So go back please to the diagram.
But I have to hide because it is a modal window, so
okay,
it's there in front of.
So we ask. Okay, it's not so bad. We ask this set route, saying, okay, to routing manager, I want to apply this nomadic SIP mode. So routing manager will, in fact, routing manager, okay, if I take the mouse, where it is. If I take the mouse, so routing manager will ask to open OpenTouch server a nomadic SIP number. And in fact, OpenTouch has got somewhere a set of SIP devices, a specific SIP device, free and available for this kind of operation. So OpenTouch select one, so and say, okay, here is the SIP device number you can use. And after that, when we have, once routing manager has got this SIP device number, he needs to retrieve the device management for this SIP device. That means all the attributes Squall needs in order to be initialized. So we request this device. We request this device SIP management to OpenTouch, and the return is a kind of file, and we pass. Local SIP manager will pass this file and will provide through an event. Here is the device management to OTC PC, and then OTC PC will receive this information and you will forward this information to Squall. And as soon as Squall receives this information, he tries to start, to initialize and to register to SIP server. So as soon as Squall is registered on SIP server, he will indicate this thing to OpenTouch. Okay, he registers to the SIP server of OpenTouch. As soon as he is registered, we will receive, in fact, an information. In fact, it's an information from Squall saying us that registration is done, and then meaning on middleware side is that okay, we have got now a softphone available, and then we request using the setroute API, we request to freeze, in fact, the DEXphone, and we say we have got this SIP device. Please OTS forward now all the call directed to my DEXphone, forward this call to this SIP device, which is ready. So it is a specific set route, a specific information here, and as soon as we receive a set route response, and as soon as OpenTouch indicate us that the routing state has changed, we provide this information to OTC client. So first we we go in order to obtain a number, a SIP number, which is taken into a set of available on free SIP device. Once we receive this SIP device, we go to obtain the device management, so all the attributes, all the data needed by Squall in order to be initialized. Once we have received this data, we forward this data to OTC client. OTC client, here it is OTC PC, gave this information to Squall. On Squall, in fact, is sleeping, we can say, but it's running but sleeping. He receives this information and then he decides to register on OTC on OpenTouch. Once registration is done, in middleware he is informed through Squall, and then he applies the routing. On result, that his DexPhone is frozen, and now all calls are put for incoming call or outgoing call. They will be done using this softphone. On OTCPC, we have a bubble which is open saying your audio device is again available. We have this kind of things during our demo. So it is a nomadic SIP mode. And just to remember you, in this SIP mode, in this nomadic SIP mode, there is only one active SIP session, only one in the same time, only one. We can't have two sessions running, two SIP sessions running in the same time in this mode. So that's all for this part.
Yep.
Maybe it's all also for routing.
Yeah.
So maybe just I don't know, maybe if you on your OTC PC you can stop your routing mode, computer routing mode. So if you go back to DexPhone, maybe we will have this bubble. No, nothing. So DexPhone is, and see if you go back, no, to
Yeah.
computer mode.
Maybe when you go back, because when you stop.
Yes, we have OpenTouch conversation services are again available. In fact, maybe maybe in the screen showing it is not so visible, but very visible.
Non, tu peux.
Ah oui,
Non, je crois. Non.
ah yes, okay. And I just see your question about ad hoc communication with video. It's not exactly the same way, but there is an idea somewhere. In fact, if inside Communication Manager, we already have ability to join a conference with video. And even if I am using my DexPhone on no routing mode, no computer routing mode, so only DexPhone, when I would decide to join a conference in video, in fact, what is done is we allocate dynamically a SIP device, we register, we find the device management in order to start Squall. So we start a new SIP device, and we are using this SIP device, asking in fact the bridge to call directly this SIP device. And result is that we we are not really running with OXI behavior. We are entering into a SIP world, and we ask bridge to call this SIP device directly, and then video is available. So there are some side effects on Oxy because Oxy doesn't monitor correctly this kind of call, but maybe it is the way we can take for. So I will give you an answer with more details, but I think also some architects like Jan Grotet have a clear idea of how to do.
Okay.
Because what I explained you about video on a scheduled conference, I build it inside code, but Jan designed it. It should be quite similar, I suppose. But you will obtain a response with more details. I will check with Jan also.
Okay, thank you.
So maybe that's all for today because a big day for everybody. So we plan a new maybe not a full day. I think
We will see.
We will see. So on Friday morning, next Friday in the morning, and we will see if the afternoon it is needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so it's perfect for us.
So if you have a look on the middleware, on the how to start the debug on OTCPC, and if you have a look on the code, if you have any question, you could you will be able to ask us.
Okay.
This text.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
you-
Thank you,
you
Eric.
can, okay, you can send if you have any question, you can send it by mail before this session.
Okay.
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 So thank you.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.